I'm going to go over the review sheet for the test. What I need you to be familiar with, make sure you know what is a cross product. You can find it in your book. Direct variation, okay? It's similar to what we discussed the other day about constant rate of change. And dimensional analysis, you can leave that off. Equivalent, what does it mean that be equivalent? Equivalent rates, equivalent ratio. If it's non-proportional, look that up. Make sure you understand that. Ordered pairs, origin, proportional. Okay, we won't worry too much about quadrants. Rate of change. Okay, a change in y with a change in x. We went over that. So rate of change is a change in y over the change in x. So you see the rate of change is change in y over the change in x. Unit rate, that means the denominator is always 1 in the unit rate. So you have unit rate means the number is over 1. And you have the x-axis and know the x-coordinate and the y-axis and the y-coordinate. So let's look at number 1. So you need to put this in your journal, doesn't matter what page. So starting with number 1. Calculate the unit rate if there are 1,860 calories in 6 servings. First of all, you set it up like calories over servings. Just put the words down. So what you're given. So you want the unit rate. If there are 1,860 calories, 1,860 calories in over 6 in 6 servings. So if you want to know how much one serving is, what do you think you would do? You're right, you would divide. So once you divide it, the answer is 310 calories. EAL. Looking at number 2. A cheetah can run 60 miles per hour. What is the speed in feet per hour? So let's just set that up. So we have it set up here. If you have 60 miles for 1 hour times 5,280 feet, that's how many feet is in a mile for 1 mile. And remember, we can cancel out the m's for the miles. And now you have feet per hour. You have feet in the numerator, hour in the denominator. That's what we need, feet per hour. So in order to solve this, you multiply 60 times 5,280. So when you multiply it out, you should get 316,800. Looking at number 3. Which size of yogurt shown in the table has the greatest unit price? The greatest unit price, okay? So what you'd have to do if you want to know which one has the, greatest unit price. So I'm going to change the wording to this. Instead of which size of yogurt shown on the table has the greatest unit price, I'm going to say the table has the unit price. Just leave out greatest. The unit price, that means if you divide it out, it will come out even. It would just be a number over 1. So the only one that comes out even that would give a even unit price would be what? So you have to divide 6 into 0.89, see if it comes out even. Divide 10 into $1.69, 32 into $4.79. So the only one that comes out even is which one? So once you divide it, you'll find that it's 8 ounce serving. Number 4. Kevin drove 23 and a half miles in 1/4 hour. What was his average speed per per hour. Okay, so the average speed per hour, this is a division. So you could easily complete this by changing the 23 and a half to 23.5. So when you have 23.5 divided by 1/4, don't forget you're going to have to flip the 1/4 to change it to 4 over 1. So now you would multiply 23.5 times 4 over 1, and that will give you your answer. So what did you get? So you see your answer here is 94 for number 4. Looking at number 5, the table shows the cost of ordering different number of pizzas. What is the value of X if the cost is proportional to the number of pizzas? So you know if it's proportional, you know that you can cross multiply and will be the same answer because you have the right proportions. So you know if it's 2 pizzas is $14.98, and then 3 pizzas is $22.47. 4 pizzas is $29.96, and then 5 pizzas is X. So if you want to find out what X is, you can take any of the numbers, and you have 2 over $14.98 equals, because it's proportional, 5 over X. So now you can simply cross multiply to solve the problem. Okay, now when I cross multiplied, I multiplied 5 times $14.98 and came up with $74.90. Then I multiplied 2 times x and I have 2x. Now I have to divide everything by 2. So the answer is $37.45. So that's what x is. So you can cross multiply since it is proportional. Now we're looking at number 6. Solve each proportion round to the nearest hundred. So that tells you right now it probably will not come out even. So if you see here, I cross multiply 13 times 50, and I have 195 equals 110x. Now I want to get rid of the 110 by dividing it both sides by rid of the 110x. I just want to get rid of the 110 by the x, and I have to divide both sides of the equal sign by 110. So when I divided 195 by 110, I end up with 1.772. So then I round it off to the nearest hundredths as directed, and the answer is 1.77. Looking at number 7. Number 7, the recipe for an omelet says 8 eggs makes 3 servings. How many eggs are required to make 10 servings? So you see here it's eggs over servings. So you see you've given 8 eggs for 3 servings. So the question is how many eggs? It means X has to be on top. We'll get 10 servings. So what you do here is you cross multiply. You multiply the 8 times the 10 and use the cross products method. And that's 80. And then you have the 3 times the x equals 3x. Now you're going to divide both sides by 3. And if you divide it by 3, you get 26.7. So you don't have to have the 0.7 because you don't have 0.7s of an egg. So it's just going to be 26 eggs to make 10 servings. Number 8. This is another proportional problem. Tyler went to pick fresh berries at a farm. He picked 3 quarts blueberries and paid $25.60. How much would it cost to pick 4-quart blueberries? Now you have blueberries over cost. So if you notice, it's 3 quarts costs $25.60. So you want to know you have 4 quarts, how much it's going to cost. You got to compare the cost with cost, blueberries with blueberries, so that's why the X is on the bottom. So you do the cross product, so 4 times 25.60, and that will give you $102.40. Then, of course, you're going to cross multiply. 3 times x is 3x, and you know you're going to divide it by 3. So when you divide $102.40 by 3, you get $34.13. So that's how much it costs to pick 4 quarts of your blueberries. Now, number 9, convert 4.25 kilograms to pounds. So you want to know, first of all, how many kilograms is in 1 pound. So 1 pound, one pound kilogram is 0.45, and you can use a chart to know what that is. Kilograms is in 1 pound. And so you want to know how many pounds, pounds is on the bottom, is 4.25 kilograms. And again, we use the cross products, and you cross multiply, multiplying the 1 times 4.25 and then dividing it by, that's a point, 0.45. So you're going to have 0.45 x, because you cross multiplied, is equal to 4.25. So when you divide the 0.45 on both sides, and you will get 9.44 pounds. 9.4. You have 2 fours if you want to round to the nearest hundredth. 9.44 pounds. Here we're going to determine the constant rate of change for each graph. So you know rate of change, okay, is a change in y over the change in x. So let's look at number at 0, 0. That could be the first coordinate. So then you have going over 2. It looks like when I get one that's right on the line. So you have 0, 0, and it looks like 16. You have 5 is with 16, and we have 4 is 12. Okay. And looks like 2 is 6. So that looks like exactly 6. So if you want to know what is determine the constant rate of change. So if you start with 0, 0 is 1 point. And then the other point, it looks like it is 2, 6. So to find the constant rate of change, you subtract the change over y. So subtract your y. 6 minus 0 will give you 6. Over the change in x, so subtract your x. 2 minus 0 is 2. So that would give you 3. 3 units is the constant rate of change. So if you go and you were to subtract each one of those, you would, at each interval, you would still get 3. So let's look at number 11. What is the constant rate of change? How is it changing constantly? So from 1 to 2, it's 1. So here it's changed by what? 40. Okay. And then 2 to 3 is not there. Okay. So you would know you would add 40 to that. And then whatever that answer was, you would add 40 to that to make it 4. That's how it gets 160. So if you notice, some of the numbers are left out on the time. So be sure and pay close attention to that when you're doing your problems. So for this constant rate of change, we know it is 40 over 1. The change in y over the change in x is 40 over 1. So it changed, the y has changed 40. Okay? Looking at number 12, Tasha babysit and earn the amounts as shown on the table. Is the number of hours worked proportional to the numbers earned? So you can always cross multiply to see if it is proportional. So if you were to multiply 2 times 9 is 18, 1 time, that's still 18. Okay, so to determine if it's proportional, just cross multiply and this works out. So it's yes. Number 13 rather. To determine whether each relationship is a direct variation. Direct variation is just like rate of change, except it does start at the origin. So is this a direct variation? Is it the same rate of change? So you know that this is multiplied 6 times 2. Okay, so this is times 2 to give you 12. And then you'd have 2 times 2. 2 times 12 will give you 24. So for the third one, it should be 24. So this is a no for this one. So there is not a direct variation. Now, number 14, there appears to be a direct variation because you go from 1 to 12, 1 over 12, x is 1, y is 12, and then 2 to 24. So what are you doing in each instance? You're multiplying times 12 in each instance. So it is direct variation. The constant of proportionality is times 12. That's the constant. Okay, now 15 and 16. Determine the constant rate of change for each graph. Rate of change is a change in y over the change in x. So let's see, where does y change? So if you're looking, I want to look where it's exactly on the line so we can determine what it is. So this looks like this is one number of hours, 1 hour, and it looks like this is 15. So 1 over 15, okay, 1 15, and it looks like this is 2 to 30, okay, so it looks like it's going every 15, and then what's 15 plus 30? 15 plus 30 is 45, so determine the constant rate of change is 45. Not 45, 15, I'm sorry, 15, because you're changing it by 15 each time. So let's look at number 16. The last one, the rate of change is 10. So you notice for 1 meter is 10, 2 meters is 20, so it's changing by 10 each time. So the rate of change is 10 or 10 over 1. So it's a change in y over the change in x.